Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I am pregnant with my ex's baby. We are on good terms, and when the baby is born, we will have 50-50 custody. 2 weeks ago, I moved into my sister and brother-in-law's house. My sister and brother-in-law practically begged me to move in with them because they wanted to experience being pregnant. My sister is infertile. Living with my sister and brother-in-law has been very stressful. They are always on top of me about my eating habits and are always around me, especially brother-in-law. Brother-in-law insists that I think of him as the baby's father. It's really annoying because when my baby's actual father is around, he feels the need to always one-up him. One time when one of my sister's friends came over, he talked about the baby as if it was his. That's so weird. Dude, that's kind of creepy. Yesterday, my other sister was hosting a family dinner at her house and brother-in-law came. While I was on the couch, he came in front of me and started talking to my baby and referring to himself as daddy. That's so creepy. Oh my gosh. Imagine if this girl actually has her baby and they're gonna act like it's their baby. I'm gonna be scared, honestly. It was extremely embarrassing because everyone was looking and I was very pissed off. I told him to get up and to stop touching me. My brother-in-law looked very embarrassed and my sister was very mad. They both left. After that, I went with my brother to get my clothes and everything from the house. I got a thread of texts from my sister calling me ungrateful. See you next Tuesday. She told me how I embarrassed her and brother-in-law. I asked some friends and they told me I was in the wrong because my sister let me stay at her house rent-free, and some say that I'm not in the wrong. Who are the friends that told her she was wrong? Who? Wow, you guys are kidding me. Just because someone lets you stay at their place doesn't mean they have the right to touch you and everything, okay? Get that right? Just because someone is doing you a favor right now doesn't mean they own you, okay? Jeez. I honestly don't know and I need unbiased answers. I sometimes do say things unfiltered when I feel strong emotions, so this may be one of those situations. Of course you're not wrong, girl. That's your baby. You have the right to protect your baby from anyone, okay? If you feel uncomfortable while someone is touching you, you have the right to say, get away from me, okay? Don't feel bad for sticking up for yourself and for your baby. Like brother-in-law, you're not the dad. Stop acting like one when you're not the dad. This whole story was just creepy to me, to be honest. Like the brother-in-law and her sister acting as if they were the parents. That's so unsettling, honestly. I would feel kind of scared and stressed out and pressured if this happened. Because you're going to be thinking about the future and it's what if when you do have the kid, they're still going to insist that, the brother-in-law is a dad when he's not. That's so weird. And the sister telling her that she embarrassed brother-in-law, no, he embarrassed himself and he's embarrassing her. By saying that he's the daddy, that's so embarrassing to her. No, you're not the daddy. You're just sitting there and then your brother-in-law comes up to you and he starts acting as if he's the baby's dad. And then everyone's going to be looking at you as if you had an affair with your sister's husband. How bad does that look? That looks so bad. The brother-in-law embarrassed her instead. She did not embarrass the brother-in-law. Seriously? Dude, I don't get how some people think. Ugh. Alright, moving on. I'm prefacing this by saying that I have a daughter, Sandy, with an incredibly sensitive personality and loves to help people. We come from a well-off background compared to her friends, and so for the past few months, she has been doing some charity work. She's cut her hair and donated it to cancer patients, and sold some of her expensive clothes and shoes, and gave them away to help out her friends and other families. Now she wears thrift shop clothes, which is something my wife isn't so happy with. She thinks that Sandy is painting a bad picture of us as neglectful parents and giving a false impression to people that we are poor, where in fact we're doing well financially. I admit my wife is all about appearances, and recently I started noticing that she's been excluding Sandy from events and gatherings because of how she dresses. That's mean of the mum. Why would she be embarrassed of her daughter when her daughter's doing something so good? I would be so proud of my daughter. How are you embarrassed of your daughter because they're dressing differently? Who cares? That's your daughter. Who cares? I talked to her about it and she said it was all in my head. But last week was my wife's birthday. We celebrated at a restaurant and I asked my wife to get Sandy and meet me there. Although at first she hinted that if Sandy refused to dress properly, then she wouldn't bring her, but I told her that if she didn't bring her, then we'd have an issue and the party would be called off. We waited, and then I saw my wife walk into the restaurant by herself. I was mad, I'm not gonna lie. I asked her where Sandy was, and she told me she didn't feel like coming, even though she talked about how excited she was for this party. I just had this gut feeling that my wife was lying, so I texted Sandy, and sure enough, my wife gave her an ultimatum saying either she had to wear something that matches our class, or she wouldn't be allowed to come to her birthday where her friends and family are gathered. I went and called Sandy outside, and she was crying. I was furious. I walked inside the restaurant and picked up an argument with my wife and told her family and friends exactly why Sandy wasn't there. My wife looked shocked. She started arguing with me, and I ended up calling off the entire event and having everyone else leave early. My wife literally started yelling at me at the restaurant, so I took my stuff and went home. What a good dad, honestly. How dare she leave her daughter alone just because she wouldn't dress the class that she wants her to dress like what kind of class are you talking about? You can dress however you want, okay? She got back and kept yelling at me for ruining her birthday and making a scene and humiliating her in front of her friends and family. She said that Sandy was acting stubborn and that's on her, but I told her she acted unreasonably by excluding her like that. Sandy was crying because of it, and I felt like this was too big to look over, despite my wife saying that it wasn't a big deal and ruined her birthday for no reason. If it's not a big deal, then why didn't you let Sandy come with you? Seriously, it's not a big deal, but you don't want your daughter to come with you because she's not dressing the way that you want her to dress. Ugh. She went to stay with her family and won't even reply to my texts. She just reads them but don't respond, probably expecting me to apologize for what happened. Did I go too far? Of course you didn't. Every single parent should look after the kids like this. Like, anyone can dress the way that they want to. You can dress rich and whatever, but if your daughter doesn't want to dress that way, you can't force her to. Like, you know what? No one's even thinking anything about you. You're thinking too much, okay? Everyone cares about themselves more than they care about you. So no one would even care about what Sandy was dressed like. I'm so glad that Sandy has this dad though. That's an amazing dad. Sticking up for his daughter like that, I love to see it, honestly. Alright, next story. My husband's primary residence is in Italy. Mine is in the UK. On one of my trips to Italy, his housekeeper told me that the wife of my husband's friend kept trying to visit him while I wasn't there. She said she came over every single day, even though most days he wasn't even home or was working from home, so didn't even say hello to her. We went out together as a group, so I brought it up to her when it was just the two of us and asked her to stop. I told her my husband doesn't like being disturbed while he works, so she should really arrange something instead of just turning up. She waved me off and acted like it was no big deal. I asked her several more times to stop, but she continued to do it the minute I was back in the UK every single time. In the end, I was so fed up. I contacted her husband and asked him to tell his wife to stop. He wasn't aware this was going on and said he would speak to her. His wife is now angry at me and is claiming I'm implying things about the type of woman she is. She also said I was treating her like her husband's property and I was pathetic for telling him instead of just admitting she made me insecure. My husband is mostly indifferent, but also told me I had caused chaos in their friendship group as everybody knows what's going on and is causing a lot of gossip. Why did the husband not say anything though? Okay, even if you don't care that she's there, you should think about what your wife is gonna think when you're alone with a woman in your own home. And I'm just so confused because she wouldn't have found out if the housekeeper didn't tell her. Like, why did her husband not tell her? Is it because he just didn't care? But still, he should have told her. If he didn't tell her, then it's going to be causing more misunderstandings. Like, wouldn't you tell your partner about your day if you guys are living apart? Like, surely you'd be like, oh, she came over again, la-di-da-da. Nothing, not a word about that. Maybe it's because he also didn't want to cause any misunderstandings or make his wife worry. But still, I don't know. But yeah, that woman going over every single day, why? She's angry because it's being implied about the type of woman she is. Well, don't go over to someone's husband's place every single day. And they're not even close friends, that's the thing. And even if they were close friends, you shouldn't do that in respect to the wife. Like, if my guy friend had a wife, I wouldn't go over to his place anymore. Okay? Unless his wife tells me to come over, then I will go over. Because in respect to his wife, I don't want to make anyone mad. Okay? That's weird. You just don't do that even if you guys are friends. Because there's somebody else involved in his life and you don't want to cause chaos within them too. It's just common sense. You don't do that. Even if you guys are friends, you know how the wife is going to feel. You know that. This girl is just acting dumb, that's all. She's literally like, oh, I made you insecure by just going to your husband's place. Like, that's gonna make anyone mad. If you see a woman coming over to your husband's place every single day when you're not there, that's gonna make you mad. Even if you're not the jealous type, that's gonna make you mad. You don't go over to a married man's place all alone. This girl is just trying to stir up trouble. I can feel it. Jeez, I hate it when someone turns up unannounced to my place. Like, don't do that. If you're gonna come, tell me, okay? Tell me. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!